Hello traders, it's 10:51 p.m. on June 5th. In this video, I want to analyze the recent market situation. I've noticed that many people are suffering from the strange movement of Ethereum. While Bitcoin seems to be on a downward trend, Ethereum has shown a relatively strong performance on the market. This opposite movement between Bitcoin and Ethereum has led to a strange situation where Ethereum seems to be moving independently of Bitcoin. People want to go long on Ethereum, but they hesitate due to the situation with Bitcoin. Let's compare my previous analysis with the current market trend. First, let's look at this chart. This chart was analyzed 22 hours ago, just after midnight today. We can see here that I said the bulls were here. This candlestick retracted to this important position when it tested the PL-C position below. The bulls completed a reverse engulfing and closed at the highest point. This was a very good candlestick for the bulls at that time. Exactly what we hope to see. Above this PL-C position, we can safely go long. If our prediction at that time was that it could reach the S position, that would have been the best scenario, because if it reached that position, it would continue to rise and might retest the previous high. This was the situation with Bitcoin at that time. Now let's look at the current situation of Bitcoin. We can see the current trend of Bitcoin. This is the position we were looking at in the previous chart. Although this candlestick was the highest, the next two 4-hour candlesticks reversed it and continued the previous downward trend. It didn't develop the trend we wanted, which indicates that the bull's strength is insufficient and the bears have more power. So, at this position, it tested the PL-C position again. If we switch to the 1-hour chart, we can see that in the last hour, there were two large bearish candlesticks with high volumes which reversed the previous large bullish candlestick and tested the PL-C position below. This is the worst situation for the bulls. It shows that there are many people in the market who want to sell. Relatively speaking, there are more people willing to sell Bitcoin at this position, which led to these two candlesticks. After this candlestick, it tested the PL-C position again. This test is very crucial. The first test closing above doesn't mean it will hold here. What we need to see is multiple tests of this PL-C position by the market. If it doesn't break down and the bears can't capture this position, then we can go long. If we enter the market here prematurely, it might break down and go through this period. If we enter prematurely, we might suffer significant losses. But if we wait until the market has tested this position multiple times and shows that this price can hold, and the bulls have strong confidence in this position, then we can join the bulls. Of course, currently, these bearish candlesticks tell us that the bears still have a lot of power. So it's not recommended to build a position during this period until the battle here ends. Here, it indicates that the market is now in a state of divergence. The best approach for us is to wait until the divergence ends before participating in the market, whether the bulls or the bears win. If the bulls win, we can follow the trend and build multiple layers at the top. If the bears swing, we can wait for them to test the PL-C position on the upward pullback and enter a short position when they fail to recover. This is the best approach. Let's take a look at the trend of Ethereum. This is the chart we analyzed at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., we could see that it broke through the bottom of its oscillation range but did not continue its upward trend. Instead, it entered another oscillation. Therefore, we believe that the upward momentum is moderate, because if it was strong, it should have continued to rise. Since it has formed an oscillation, both those who went long and those who went short in this oscillation range could make money. As we mentioned earlier, if the opposing side makes money in a trend, it indicates that the trend is not strong. Of course, since it is still in a bullish trend, the approach we gave at that time was to build multiple layers at the bottom of the oscillation range and go long above the one-day NBS level. Now let's look at the current trend of Ethereum. We can see that after the morning, it has tested the one-day level multiple times. It tested it once at 6 p.m. and then there were two good reversals, but it still remained in the oscillation range. Then it was pulled down by the 9 p.m. candlestick. These two candlesticks prove that the current Ethereum, like Bitcoin, is under heavy selling pressure. It is now in a period of battle between the bulls and the bears. Therefore, it is not a wise choice to trade here. I think the best approach now is to wait. Wait for the bulls and the bears to battle in this oscillation range. Once the battle ends, we can follow the winning side. If the bulls win and break through upward, we can enter a long position here. but if the bear swing, we can enter a short position at the bottom. This candlestick has very long upper and lower shadows, which indicates that the current market battle is very intense. Both sides are trying to push the price to their desired level. The bulls want to push it up, while the bears want to push it down. Finally, let's analyze Solana. Solana is a coin where the current situation is relatively clear. The daily chart I analyze here formed a rare top pattern called a diamond top, which means the bearish force is much stronger than the bullish force. There's also a diagram here. Therefore, I said that we can choose not to join the bears, but we must not join the bulls. The price at that time was 153. The second point is that at the bottom of the diamond top, it formed an important position. Therefore, we said that before the MBS is taken back by the bulls, we should look for opportunities to short at the top of the MBS. Let's switch to the Solana chart in a larger time frame. We can see that the 153 level was tested today, and it continued to fall, reaching 148 at one point. The recent candlesticks clearly show that the price is dominated by the bears. Therefore, our approach is still to short at the top of the NBS while it is below the NBS. Finally, I would like to talk about my challenge of turning $500 into $5,000 within a month. I have created a special document for this challenge. Every trade and the trading logic will be written in this document for review. Similarly, every step and every trade will be synchronized in our TG group chat. As for me, I'm quite good at handling a bull market. However, the current market situation indicates that no matter how you look at it, we have entered a bear market in the short term. Therefore, I will wait until the market downturn ends and the new bull market begins before I start this challenge. I look forward to your continuous support and attention.